Recording. That would have been major, major, major problems, catastrophe. All right. Okay. So we're recording. I am so grateful that you guys have chosen to spend this Thursday evening with us. And we really hope that you continue to join us down the road because we have some exciting training coming up. But tonight, I'm really excited to share some beautiful stories. And I want to start that off by asking you guys a few questions. So if you're ready for me, okay? I want you, if you're comfortable, I want you to close your eyes for a minute. I don't want to lose you, so don't be laying in your bed falling asleep, but I want you to close your eyes for just a minute and answer some of these questions. Are you currently feeling stressed, overwhelmed, exhausted? Do you feel like the weight of your family is on your shoulders? Does it feel really heavy? Have you stopped dreaming? You can open your eyes. Now, without a show of hands, these questions are really important because as we start to get older and wiser and we have more and more responsibilities, one of the first things that stops happening is we stop enjoying this beautiful life and we stop dreaming, which is one of the greatest tools in our box to live a beautiful, happy life. So dreaming is so important. And I reached out to some phenomenal women over the last few weeks and asked them to join me on this series of dreaming, on this series of awakening to your incredible potential and brilliance inside of you. I believe that women, and I know we're going to have some men on this call, and I'm so grateful for that, but I believe that women are really, really special, that we can do phenomenal things. We're creators. Have you guys ever thought about that? Like, we were born to create life. And with that ability to create means that we can create truly anything from our hands and our heart and our mind when they're working together. And that is one of the things that Isagenix has given me. And so if it's okay, I just want to start off by very, very quickly sharing a part of my story before I move on to these women that I love and adore so much and look up to. Because you see, 5 years ago, I was a dreamer. I had so much passion in my heart. Like, I had so many dreams, so many desires. I was literally laying in bed at nighttime, and raise your hand if you're like me. I was laying in bed at nighttime, exhausted, but on Pinterest, trying to find all these ideas of things that I could do to be happier, to be a better mom, to be more engaged in life, to create more fun things. Right? Anybody? I mean, maybe not Pinterest, but do you have dreams of things you want to do and the mom and the woman that you want to be? Well, I'd wake up in the morning and all those dreams would be squashed because I would wake up exhausted, absolutely exhausted after a night of wrestling with the covers, wrestling with stress, with the overwhelm of my life, of being broke, of having no time with my husband, and of feeling just exhausted and unhealthy in my skin. And so when Isagenix came into my life, I wasn't just looking for a weight loss program, which if you were to look at me at the time, you probably thought that was my number one goal. But truly my number one goal was to be engaged in life and to be connected to the person that I know I am, to really live a beautiful life with energy and adventure and fun and laughter. And I wasn't doing those things. And so when Barbara Price called me, she didn't just say, hey, Trisha, I have something for you that might help you lose 95 pounds, which was in my future. She called me and said, I can tell you're not feeling so great and that you're not yourself. And I want you to try this. See, she really, really saw me. And you're going to see that in the stories that come tonight, is that they not only were seen by somebody else, but that they see others. And they are able to see them and help them and offer solutions and help them dream again. So I got started with Isagenix right away. I had zero doubt that it was going to work. I wasn't one of the skeptics. You're going to hear a lot of skeptics in this business, but I wasn't a skeptic. I believed immediately that it was going to work for me. I didn't care there was a money back guarantee because I knew it was going to work. And so I got on Facebook. I put up some things for sale because at the time I was broke as a joke. I was not poor here, but I was literally broke, living on food stamps and other support. And I sold a few things, including a refrigerator that we had. And I hope we all have a refrigerator. Well, I had one and I sold it. And I got started the very next day with my very first value pack. And I started that way because I knew it was the best option. And I wanted zero excuses as to why this wouldn't work for me. And so I got started. And like many, many others that you're going to hear about or you have heard from, I woke up on day 5 feeling like something is happening. Like I just slept amazing. My brain feels clear. And most importantly, I was excited to get out of bed. Like I was excited for a day. And I'll tell you guys, every day since that moment has gotten better and better and better. And that's not because life is easy. I have lots of stresses in my life, lots of things that happen, lots of trials that I go through. But I have been given tools and just literal gifts because of this company that helped me get through it all. And I am so extremely grateful. I couldn't stop sharing this. I shared it with everyone because of the results that I was seeing on the outside, but most importantly, because the results I was feeling in the inside. I felt like somebody had given me like jet fuel and was propelling me into the future. And that's what I'm so grateful for, guys. And I love, love, love this company. We have a surprise guest joining us next week. You will not want to miss next week's call. I am so thrilled that this woman is going to be joining us. That's all the hints I'm going to give you. But this company has given me a life back. It has truly, truly blessed me and my family forever. And I'm so grateful that I got to share a little bit of my story tonight, and you will hear more next week. Ladies, I didn't even give you guys an order, and I feel so horrible that I didn't, but we have some phenomenal women on this call, guys. Tonight and over the next few weeks as we end the new year, you're going to be hearing from some of our top income earners and other women that have started at the same time as me or after me and have done phenomenal things in this company because of their huge hearts and their abilities to dream and work hard and pour belief into others. We have a lot of moms on this call. In fact, we're all moms. I didn't even count it up, but I think we have like 2, 6, 10, 11, 12, like 15 kids, 16 kids between all of us. And what's really cool and what I'm really excited for you guys is raise your hand if you've never had any network marketing experience previous to Isagenix. Okay, so a lot. And then let's see some hands if you had some experience before Isagenix. Wonderful. So we have, and I'm seeing some comments in the Zoom chat. If you guys want, please chat away there and let us know. Answer the questions there if you're not able to show us on video. We have a lot of women here that didn't have any network marketing experience previous to Isagenix. And how grateful are we that this was our home? Like we landed here, like our first experience was here. What a blessing. And then we have a lot that have had previous experience. And what's so beautiful about this is they are here to serve, to share what they've learned in other places and what they can bring to the table is beautiful. We have some girls that were in journalism, writing, real estate sales manager, pediatric dental manager. I mean, lots and lots of different places that these women have served. And I'm just grateful that they're all here tonight. So are you guys ready for this? Anybody want to volunteer to go first since I didn't work this out beforehand? I'm looking at you. You can raise your hand. Ready? Trudy, you're chosen.
Okay, am I unmuted?
Yes, you are.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Trish, for doing this and having us all together. I love and respect these people on this call, and I think this is going to be such a fun adventure. So thank you for putting this all together. We're so grateful for you and your leadership, and I'm grateful for your friendship. So my name's Trudy Maples. I've been with Isagenix for 3 years and 9 months. I was introduced to it by my sister, Tanya Kirkpatrick, and I had previous network marketing experience as well. But in the network marketing company I was with, we just were not making the money that we needed to make. So I started a cooking school and a catering company, and we're, working so hard catering and cooking and serving, it's hard work and it's hard on your body. And so I just remember feeling so grateful for the relationships that I had with the Pampered Chef and with my clients from my cooking school, and was so grateful that those businesses were going really well. I mean, our cooking classes were sold out, and I really felt the blessing of God on all of that, but worked really hard. And my husband was in full-time ministry, and he would get off work and go and totally help me, cater or cook or prepare for the date night cooking classes. And he was just my right hand everything. And I was so grateful for his support, but we were both super tired. And I was getting close to 200 pounds and just miserable, and so grateful that Tracy shared with Tanya, because when I first saw it, and I am like Trisha, I was skeptical. I was, 19 years in another company and was very loyal and was like, this is weird. What is this? And I'm really grateful that I was skeptical, because, when I talk to someone who's skeptical, I can completely relate to them. So when I saw, Tanya and Jeremy starting this, I was just like, yeah, you guys just have fun with that, because I am not interested. And then as I watched them change their bodies and their bank accounts, I was like really intrigued, but still super loyal and super busy with my other businesses. And I wasn't just going to be like, peace out. I'm not going to, do your shows that I have booked for 2 months and cooking classes, etc. But just continue to watch the journey. And then you guys, a lot of you know this story. Tanya took me to lunch and talked to me about it. And I was just like, no, I'm not interested. Good for you, but I'm happy with what I'm doing. And I had made over 6 figures, but it was like working like a dog. So trading time for money and not getting paid, unless I was doing a party or, doing a catering job, etc., or teaching a cooking class. And then at Christmas in 2014, she gave us a puppy Christmas bag with samples in it. And I, again, was super annoyed by that and said, I hope there's a gift card in this bag, because ew. And shoved it all in the closet and was just going about my little happy self. And I was in her product page, Free to Be, and I was watching all these people. And I just thought, you know what, there's got to be something to this. And there is a 30-day money back guarantee. So if this is a bunch of crock, I'm just going to get my money back. And I remember towards the end of January, just being like so wiped out. I mean, we did Sybil can attest to this. We did double hostess. I mean, we were doing 9 shows a week, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, 2 during the week, 1 at night. I mean, it was just insane. So that our hostesses could get double free products. And then you'd come home and just completely pass out and pray to God your husband would do your dishes, because you were wiped out. And so it was towards the end of the month that I pulled that chocolate shake out of the closet, and I just made it before I went to a show. And I was just sucking it down in a red Solo cup. And I thought, dang, that's good. And then I was feeling ridiculous, because I had never, I talked about something that I had never tried. So I texted Tanya and I texted Nathan, my husband, and I was like, we need to talk. So it was towards the end. I think I signed my enrollment or enrolled or whatever at the end of January. I got the products in my body February 2nd. And I actually have my picture right here, because we used this on the tour. But this was me the day before. Tanya took these pictures in her upstairs room. And then this was 120 days on the products, 30 pounds, 41 inches. And it's just inflammation crazy. And then just, you can just tell, we all have those stories. And as soon as I saw the compensation plan, I was like, oh, hell, this is insane. I mean, the most money I ever made in Pampered Chef working my booty off was $65,000. And so we have been so grateful to be 7-figure income earners in Isagenix and just completely pay it forward and help lots of families crush their goals and help them dream bigger and actually help their dreams come true. I'm so grateful for that. We have the most epic team and so grateful for our leaders. We have 15 executives on our team, and they are just powerhouse women that I respect and admire and look up to and are my dearest, bestest friends. And we are just having a blast changing lives together and go through the ebbs and flows of this together, because sometimes this can be hard and sometimes it can be great, right? We all agree. And so what I'm going to be training on, Trisha asked us to share, I just thought I had sent her some key things that I'm passionate about. And I just kind of wanted to ask you guys, and you can just throw this in the chat and let me know. But these are some things I'm passionate about. I'm super passionate about rank advancing leaders. I am so grateful that we've been able to be really successful with that. And, I just would love to share with you on how to do that and how to not only build a legacy of leaders, but duplicate that within your organization. Because we all know after 2-star, it is not about you, it is about your team. And if your team's not working and your team's not duplicating, then you're not going to as well. Also, the value of a relationship within this business and respect of leadership. And I just am really resonate with that. The other thing I'm passionate about is connecting with people on social media and in person, and what that looks like authentically. I think that people get really hung up on what does that look like and why is it so hard for some people and so easy for others. Taking care of you, we're constantly pouring out, and we need to be poured into and make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, because we all know that we can hit adrenal fatigue and we can put on weight because we're just in the grind. And all the reasons we started Isagenix, to get healthy and take care of ourselves, when we start pouring out and loving others and giving it everything we have, and then we start to put ourselves on the back burner again, and we're like, well, great, here I am right back, just feeling, not all the way back, but just feeling that frustration of that, like, I got to be a product of the product, right? And I need to do as far as the nutrition's concerned. And so just kind of taking that pendulum swing, because it's great to pour into others and it's great to lift each other up and it's great to rank advance leaders, but you also got to take care of yourself. And so just sharing my journey with that and how to take care of you. So feel free to post in the thread. I am happy to share whatever would be of value to you. And there's also other epic leaders on this call that could handle all of these topics as well. But those are some things I'm super passionate about. So thank you, Trish, for inviting me here. And I'm so grateful to learn from all of you as well.
Are you kidding? We are so excited, Trudy, and thank you. The chat is going off and I'm seeing some responses there. So check that out. And Rebecca, we're going to have you go, and then Tanya after that.
Hello. Well, first, I just want to acknowledge everyone that's taken the time out, and I'm so excited to be part of this incredible group. I mean, I have seen almost all of these speakers at one time or another. I mean, Trudy on stage, Tanya just lit me on fire in Portland, I think it was last year, and I'm just grateful to be here. And I love you. We met and kind of in the beginning of our journey, which for me was about 4.5 years ago. So I'll take you back a little. My degree was in journalism, and I spent 3 years working below poverty level as a writer at a newspaper, and I absolutely loved it. But having a almost full-time restaurant job to pay for my full-time job that I actually loved was just not making ends meet. So I had spent about 14 years in corporate real estate, in sales management, sales, and training. And it was one of those jobs I think that many people can relate. I justified it because it looked really Highland Secret. It looked really good on paper. And I made good money. And that for me was really important, coming out of journalism and coming from a really blue collar background where, we qualified for welfare when I was young and putting myself through school. So financial security was very important. About 9 years ago, my boyfriend at the time got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And it turned on this huge, I'd say passion, but it's really, those people that know me know it's more of an obsession for health. And I started researching everything, detoxing, alkalinity, etc. And really cleaned up my diet. I was doing all of these things to try to control a situation I couldn't control. And he ended up passing away. But a year later, as much as I was eating healthy, I went to the hospital at 31 with what I thought was a heart attack. It turned out that it was a really massive anxiety attack, chest pains, palpitations, all of that. And I went, I'm working out, I'm eating healthy. What is missing here? And what it was is self-care, what Trudy was talking about, is slowing down. I was on this hamster wheel where I was just burning out so fast, but that was what was required because I was a cog in the machine. And I was replaceable. And that's often what they do in corporate America is they work you until you just have nothing left to give. So I kind of vowed to myself at that time, like I was going to figure this out. I was going to create a different life. I just didn't know how to do that. And I met my husband 8 years ago. And a couple of years into, well, about a year and a half into us dating, my husband got diagnosed with cancer. And I was like, how does this happen twice? And the day that he had his surgery was my first day at a new job that I had a promotion. And I was so afraid because my first day had been scheduled 3 months in advance and his surgery was scheduled 2 weeks in advance. I was so afraid to ask for the day off because I thought they prepared everything around me. And if I take this off, it's going to show I have a lack of commitment. So while I was in a meeting presenting to our operations team about numbers and projections, my husband was going under boyfriend at the time was going under the knife. And I remember driving 2.5 hours to the hospital after that, crying my eyes out and saying, I will never again be in a situation where I do not have a choice or where I feel like I have to make a choice based upon a paycheck and not based upon where my heart is. And so Isagenix found me 2 years later. And like many people on here, I was just looking for product. I was a product nerd. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's adaptogens and it's gluten-free and it's vegan and it's all of these things. So I just was looking for more energy and to release some weight. And I'll share, if you don't mind me sharing my screen. This was my first 60 days. And this was me as a clean eater who already didn't eat processed food. I released 34 inches and 18 pounds and, felt amazing. And I couldn't stop talking about it. I didn't want a business. I didn't have time for my life as it was. I was like leaving the house at 6 a.m. and getting home at 7 p.m. But what I did know is I wanted a way out and I also wanted to have kids. I had my son when I was 36. So I was like, how am I going to be a parent in the way that I want to parent and not in the way that every other VP in my company was, which was having their children raised by nannies. So I went to an event. I think you and I were at the same event, possibly IC Seattle 2014. And I saw people on stage and yes, the money was great, but I was making good money. But to me, it was excitement. It was purpose. It was flexibility, and I looked and I went, there are other people that are doing this. Like, why not me? And I went to work and, as Trudy had just said, it's not easy, but, choose your hard. And I would much rather work for something that I can build a foundation than for someone that, you work your rear off and they change your bonus structure at the end of the year. So Isagenix has been such a gift in my life. And as much as I'm sure you're going to hear stories about a legacy company, about, the ability to do the things maybe we didn't do before because of the income, the income has been a gift for me, but the impact has been the bigger gift. And when life has gotten hard, my husband had, his cancer came back 2 years ago. And, when I took a month off because of his surgery, when we've talked about this, I miscarried twins in January and I took a month off because I was devastated and going through postpartum. And to have the gift of this company continue to pay the bills where I didn't have to stress about anything but taking care of myself, taking care of my husband, taking care of my son. I mean, there is just nothing better. And not to just experience that ourselves, but to be able to open a door for other people they can do the same thing is incredible. So that's my story. I am Isagenix for life. I wasn't a skeptic because I didn't really know anything about network marketing. I kind of thought it was for like old ladies with glittery sweatshirts and stay-at-home moms. And the funny thing is now I'm like, I'm way more colorful and I'm a work from home mom. And today I got to have lunch with my son and, walk him to and from school. And, at 3 o'clock, you'd be able to spend the day with him. So I love it. So some fun tips about me. All the things I love to do before I met Isagenix, none of them paid at all. I love to write. I love photography. I love to dance. And Isagenix has let me do kind of all of those things and weave it into my business because it's something I'm passionate about. So what I am planning on training about is something I really love, which is creating content. Creating content for social media and doing it in a way that feels incredibly authentic. So you're excited about it, so that it's easy, so that whatever you love about Isagenix, whether like me, it's nerding out about bioavailability, or it's opportunity, or it's performance, or it's time, or impact, or freedom, or any of those things, it's something that we're going to work on called knowables. We're going to create knowables about you that you will be able to totally master your social media in a way that feels really good, not in a way that you feel like you're trying to be someone else. And then just how to create content and reuse it on Facebook, Instagram, lives, etc. You're going to be like content brewing and it just coming out of everywhere. You're going to be posting 3 times a day maybe. So that's my part.
Yay. I'm like trying to hold back tears and excitement. Are you guys getting more excited or what's coming? I mean, I have to go buy a whole new notebook just for Rebecca's part. All right. I'm excited. Thanks, girl. All right, Tanya.
Thank you so much for having me a part. I am so excited to be a part of this and hear my beautiful sister share and hear Rebecca share. I think that what each one is going to bring to the table between all of us and the ability to collaborate. One of my favorite quotes is by Helen Keller, "Alone we can do so little, and together we can do so much." So I'm really fired up. So thank you, Trisha, for putting this together and including all of us. So I'm excited. So I have had experience in network marketing, and what I found being a part of, I always had this desire and dream to own my own business and work from home and have the ability to really make an impact. Last year, someone asked me, they were like, what is one word? If you had one word to describe you, what would that be? And I definitely wrapped my head around catalyst. I love being able to take and show people that there's a different way. So I dabbled in a little bit of network marketing. I had great success. I really enjoyed it. However, I was taking away long hours from my family, and I wasn't really paid for my time. And that was a big deal because my husband was like, babe, we have 4 kids. And those are often the questions that I ask people when I'm starting to talk and have that conversation is, are you really paid for your time? And do you earn while you sleep? And how many ways are you able to earn? When you go to a corporate job, is that something that you're earning just one way? And so when I was watching on social media, on Facebook, a girlfriend of mine who actually lived right around the corner, the beautiful Tracy O'Malley, call her, like, this beautiful mountain, her office. I currently was in a massive struggle. I was in a struggle with my husband because we had way more month than money. I was in a struggle physically because I was about 30 pounds overweight and about 46 inches wider. And I taught myself in the downturn of the economy to do eyelash extensions. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with that, but I took a company that never existed and started really spreading the word. And I worked about 45 hours a week in this like little tiny position. So you can tell my body hurt, my hands hurt, my neck hurt. I was very full of inflammation. And about 3 months before saying yes to Isagenix, I lost my dad to a horrific cancer. And I proceeded to eat my way through that entire experience. It was really sad. And the hardship of losing someone, you don't realize that grief has an extended time. And so while I wanted to really look at, health and what that looked like, because I had really been such an advocate of self-care and health, I kind of just let myself go. Also, about 3 years prior to that, I had my entire pelvic floor rebuilt. And so for those of you who've had babies, can we just get a witness? It's real hard on your body. And I started really sharing my story with a lot of my lash clients because they were struggling with the same things that I had, and been very open. I'm very open with the journey. There's nothing that I had held back in my health. And so with all my lash clients laying on the bed, they were all asking, and we were talking about the same things. So they were talking about juicing, and they were talking about trying to do different things health-wise, workout, that kind of thing. And I really started to recognize there were 2 things that every one of us was looking for: physical freedom and financial freedom. And so when I reached out to Tracy, I was like, let's go have lunch. I really want to connect and see what you're doing. So we went and had lunch, and I was like, that's great for you. I'm so excited. That's awesome. Well, I don't want to eat anything out of a box. But I really appreciate you taking time. I've never done any kind of like named diet or whatever. I was really just very big skeptic. And when she, it was so funny, she gave me a whole bag of samples. I came home and I made a shake, except I put it in my BlendTech blender and blended it for 10 minutes and walked away like I did my normal smoothies. And I called her back up and like, it's not my favorite. She's like, well, walk me through how you made it. And she goes, hold on, princess. I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to come over and make it for you. So one of the things that I really just want to sidestep note this, the service that she gave and customer service was huge. And it's something I'm really passionate about. And she literally got in her car, drove to my house, smart, right? Smart, to make sure that I had a great experience. And I remember her making my first vanilla isoline shake, and it was delicious. So my husband was like, absolutely not. He didn't understand the value of what we were going to be saying yes to. So I'm very stubborn. And so I took a white envelope and I tucked it in my panty drawer and I saved for it. I did extra clients. I helped with some friends doing different things and odd-end jobs and just kept sticking cash in that panty drawer. I know that some of you can relate because I was the mom that I was going and I was wearing holy bras and holy underwear. And my kids, when they needed anything, they were in sports. If they needed a bat, it was like $375. We could absolutely work that out. And so I saved for it. And I walked down the stairs one day and I said, hey, babe, I just want you to know I love, honor, respect you, but I'm calling Tracy and getting started. On day 4, I slept through the night and I came skipping down the stairs and he was like, oh no, he just knows me well. And I was like, what? He goes, don't tell our friends and family about it. And by the way, I want you to order me a pack. I want my own value pack. And I said, then you have to save in your panty drawer for it. So it was really funny. We got started. It's funny because my sister was here actually on our first cleanse day. So she got to see us totally like make faces and figure out, because things just were different and we're such habit driven people. And so I'm so excited that we said yes. I'm excited that we pushed through the skepticism because as a result, I was able to release that 30 pounds and 47 sticky inches. I love being a woman and having like the golden ticket to never feeling stuck in the skin you're in. That value alone is priceless. I would have paid 5 times what that value pack was worth, knowing now what it held. And the ability in this company, you are paid your time and then some. And when you serve people and you serve them well and you pour out belief and your posture speaks volumes, and not only is it about you, but it's about the team, the tribe that you're working alongside of, like all the women that are on this call tonight. We have been so blessed to bring apart stellar like business builders, stellar customers who use the products every day and they don't go a day without them in their body. So I'm fired up to talk about customer service, to talk about the art of selling, and to really talk about posture and belief. And I'm going to intertwine all of those together because I think it's really important. It'll be a presentation I haven't ever done before, so I'm fired up to bring you new knowledge. I do believe that it is our due diligence to be a good friend in sharing, but there is also a very big art to selling, and I'd love to be able to go over that with everyone. So thank you, Trisha, for having me. I'm so excited. A fun fact about me, before Isagenix, I never had climbed a mountain. I think you were there, Trisha, with me when I did it, and I did it crying because I was fearful of heights. And I'm so grateful to God for this company, for the owners, for the opportunity. Because of Isagenix, I have pushed past so many fears and have continued to say, I am a forever student. So growing and personal developing and being the person, I have a better relationship with my husband now than ever before, my kids, and really working on a better me. So that's my story. I'm so excited to be a part.
We love you, Tanya. Thank you so much for that. And I think we can all agree that the personal growth that comes along with a beautiful compensation plan is everything. We're so grateful for this. And I'm excited for us to talk about, the economy and things that are happening right now. I was talking to a student yesterday, and I really like this guy. He really respect him. And he's in his last year of school for economics, and he was talking about the economy and how things are shifting. And I'm like, yep. We're so grateful to be a part of this new economy because that's where it's going, and we are at the forefront. So it really is about being, like you said, climbing the mountain for the first time. It's about being open and about doing things differently than everybody else because there's a lot that we don't understand yet that's coming. I'm grateful that we can really learn and grow as we do this. Sybil, I've been waiting for you, girl.
Okay, so thank you. This is so amazing to be a part of this. And I don't even know how Trisha and I started our love affair, but I have considered her my Isa idol for a very long time, and I love her story. So to be a part of this has just been a dream. Most recently, Trisha started something called Tribe Time, which is something that my group and I have been doing. And I invited myself to go to her first gathering, which was just like So that's when we really kind of, I think, really got to connect, maybe for the first time in person. So I really appreciate this. But my story is really different. I mean, we all have different stories, but I'm one of the 5 people in the room that gets to raise their hand when it's asked who came to Isagenix for the business. And I did. I was looking to switch. I was with the Pampered Chef for 20 years. And so I raised my children there. But I too experienced the death of my father, which I think is really weird because Tracy O'Malley did, and then Tanya and Trudy, and then really all of our dads about the same time. So Trudy and I always pretend that our dads are fishing together. Yeah. Anyway, I had a Pampered Chef business that really required that I be doing shows in order for me to get paid. And when you have an ailing parent that is 1,000 miles away from you in Boise, Idaho, and I'm living here, I needed to find something else and something health related. And it's kind of ironic that we're talking about health. And like Rebecca said, the situation with her husband, my husband's been in the hospital all day today, and he's having a procedure done tomorrow. But I know he's in really good hands tonight, and there's nothing we can do tonight. So I came home, and this is a obligation that I have, and I'm a woman of my word. So I stick to my obligations. So I know that he's good because he's in the hospital. Where else could you be? But he's just waiting to have a procedure done. He's had some stints and some liver situations this summer that we've been dealing with. But anyway, I love that she said that it's a flexible thing. And if I would have had Isagenix in my life while my father was ill, I would have been able to do business while he was ill. But knowing that I had to literally cancel shows, I was always kind of happy during that time. He was in ICU, my father, for 104 days. And I got home every time. I'd be with him for like 7 days. I'd be home for 4. Then I'd fly back up to Idaho and be with him for 7 days. And I'm so thankful that I got to do that. Of course, we never expected that he would die, but he did. And I got home and I had no business, nothing still on my books. And that was 20 years to build this, to literally have it go totally crash in 104 days. I knew I had to do something around health and wellness. And so I also had moved to Phoenix to marry my high school sweetheart. We were away from each other for 28 years and got together when we were 44. And I moved to Phoenix, literally gave up everything I knew, everything I loved, and moved here. And so when I got here, I was wanting to reinvent myself. I was always trying to find something that would pay really well, that would be super flexible so that we could pick up and leave town on a whim on a Thursday and cruise out of town. And something that paid well. And I tried a million things. I, of course, always taught cycling. I taught that for 20 years also. But I was also working at the Clinique counter. I was, doing gift with purchases all the time. And I just couldn't find the thing that allowed me to have flexibility and a lot of money and some fun. And then I saw Isagenix, and Trudy Maples answers the door at the tasting that I go to. I had no idea who this person was, but I thought, oh, corporate has sent the big cheese in. I get this. And she looks real good, and her hair was all super fancy. And I love, love, love working with people who like to look nice and dress up. And so Trudy answers the door, and I guess she tells the story. She knew who I was from our previous company, but I had no idea. And I was liking what I saw. And then right as we are about to start the presentation, Tanya walks in, and she's in a black dress with polka dots, white little polka dots, and a perfect little belt. And I thought, oh yeah, I'm doing this. These girls look good. I want to dress up. I want to wear a pink polka dot dress. So I really kind of enrolled because of these two sisters here. But it's been an absolute dream. I've been mentored beyond anything I ever dreamed of. Our personal development has been so amazing. And I was with this other company for 20 years, and I do believe that they did help me in those very formidable years be a self-starter, be self-motivated, be able to be disciplined, stay in and work while everybody else is outside shooting off fireworks or whatever the fun stuff is out there. But, you know, I believe that I like the fact that I have that foundation, and I think it can help or hinder you just based on how ingrained that stuff is within you. I think some people that are don't have a past network marketing experience think that those of us that do have like this special little fast pass. And I believe that it can help us, but it can also hold us back because we're already programmed to go out and do shows and, you know, work a certain way and very robotic. So this has been an absolute dream for me. I'm on, you know, just, I'm a lifer. I love this. And so I think, what I really want to train about, and again, I've got 3 different ideas here. So you guys can maybe in the chat tell me out of these 3 ideas what you think you'd like to hear most from me. But I mentioned earlier this culture and this community that I'm really passionate about. And team is why I sit here today. It wouldn't be happening with just me by myself. It happens because of the team. And the team wants to get together because we love this so much, and the culture and the people and the energy and the enthusiasm. And so I love talking about building team and building community and what that really means and how much that really fills my bucket. Even though I think a lot of people think I'm pouring out, it fills me just as much as it does. And I'm learning from other leaders, and collaborations I think are key. And I really come from a place of abundance and not scarcity. So I really like to share. If it's working well for me, I want to just pay it forward and show you guys and teach you guys how to do it too. So that's one option. The second option is my big mission after having 2 different high performance academy experiences with Brendon Burchard is living a charged life. And what that really looks like and how we do it. And it's not just living it on social media. It's like, how do we really do it? How do we really authentically make sure that we're in a charged life at all times? I'm really passionate about that. So that's another option. And then my third is the belief in the industry and how I will step in front of a train if somebody is going to put down this industry. I mean, I'm like, oh no, you don't. I'll go in front of, you know, rushing traffic to try to change their mind. Then it's really mindset. And I think that, you know, we really need to encourage people to believe in what they are doing. Because if they don't, they're not going to have a very good experience. And I think we should be really authentic and honest that this isn't really for everybody. I think the products are for everybody, but the actual build is, you got to be a strong one. You got to kind of have a strong heart, and it's tough. Being a leader in this industry at this time is one of the greatest places that you could find yourself, but it's tough too, because we are human and we have little sensitive hearts. And I think people think that these leaders are just like these strong people, but it can be hard. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but I would like to talk about that more. So leadership in the industry or something. So you guys vote. How about put up a vote for me? My fun facts, you guys are going to love this. My fun facts, I always flip everybody over when they hear this. I was the rat at Chuck E. Cheese. That was one of my first jobs. And that rat has a big old rubber tail, and that rubber tail would fly out every time the kids would pull on it, and a bunch of them would shove their hand right up where the tail used to be. And we thankfully had to wear our panties, as Tanya would say, underneath that very, very hot furry suit. So that's my first fun fact. I was raised by 2 raging hippies, total hippies. I mean, like, we were hippies. We had to like make our own peanut butter. We cut our own cheese. It's a long story, but I was raised by hippies. We had no heat in our house, and I lived in Idaho. So we lived with the wood of a wood-burning stove, the heat of a wood-burning stove. And another fun fact that I'm very proud of, I ran 13 half marathons before I had my 2 children. So there we go. How's that? Good? All right.
Oh, you are such a joy. Like every time I'm around you, I'm just happier to be around you.
Oh, well, look at you. Love it.
Oh, it does. It does take grit. I love that you talked about that. And the chat box is blowing up. So check that out, Sybil, because I think you have some direction there.
Okay. Thank you. I will.
So welcome. I want to quickly, guys, before we close here, I want to excuse a few of our leaders that are not here because of other obligations, and I want to honor that. When I sent the invites out to these leaders, I never would have imagined that every single one of them would have said yes, and I should have known. And so that's why we started this series a lot sooner than I expected. I wasn't expecting to go in October. So thank you guys for doing this so last minute. Next week, like I said, we do have a surprise guest. And I'll be training on some, I think, very important things. And one of those things is living authentically and out loud. And it's better to be seen than not seen. So people have to know that shop is open all the time. And it's okay if it's messy, because as so many say, the message is in the messy, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then my guest will just like take over because she's amazing.
Hey, Trisha, I am here. It's really loud.
Yay, Nicole, I love you. Nicole has been with her children tonight, which is our #1 priority. I know Ken's is traveling, and Lindsay Winey had another obligation tonight. So thank you, Nicole. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm not going to take a lot of time because it's super loud. We have a game that's 21-25 with 48 seconds, and they're on the goal line. So I just wanted to come on and say I'm really sorry. But the reason I do what I do is so I could be here for these events in my children's lives. So, you know, I'm not going to take a lot of time because I know the call is almost over. But I'm so grateful to be part of this this amazing series, to be with these incredible leaders, like the gift to be able to collaborate with such beautiful, beautiful leaders is amazing. Very short story for me. I'll keep it short, but I had no real expert or experience in network marketing. I dabbled in Arbonne, and then was put on bed rest with my last child for 4 months. So it was, you can't really build any kind of business, and I had just really started. So I can't say I have any network marketing experience. I was very skeptical of this industry. I will say now I absolutely, positively love it. I can't imagine doing anything else. Before Isagenix, I worked 3 full-time jobs. So I was a professional photographer. I owned a business with my family, and I worked for pediatric dental offices doing marketing. So to say that I was crazy busy is an understatement. Whoops, sorry, got a call. We had 3 kids in sports, so all different directions. It was insane, and I was exhausted. Sorry, it's getting really loud, I know. Tanya just never gave up on me. She always believed in me and always just helped me see a bigger vision for myself. And she, I remember her saying to me one time, Nicole, you need this. This is something you actually do need in your life. You work so hard. You give so much to so many different avenues. Why not build something for yourself? And I was very much of an entrepreneur. I ran a very successful photography business of my own, but we still lived paycheck to paycheck. We lost our first child, which put us really, really far in debt in medical bills. We actually ended up having to file for bankruptcy, which a lot of people don't know. I don't think I've ever publicly said that out loud to anybody. But network marketing has just literally changed our life. The vehicle that we have with Isagenix has changed everything for our life. It's just incredible. So I'm so grateful that I have this vehicle, this blessing to be able to help other people. I'm so grateful for the leadership that we have. That our upline is amazing, but just, this call, look at these leaders coming together, helping. I collaborate with, Lindsay and Sybil and Tanya and Trudy and you, and it's just been such a blessing. So I'm excited to share. I have not really figured out what I'm going to do as far as training, because a few people have mentioned some of the ideas I had. So I will come up with something. I'm very distracted. I'm so sorry, but I just wanted to hop on and say how grateful I am to be here.
No, we love you, Nicole. Thank you for doing that. And please give your son a big hug and a high five for us. We hope they win. Oh, and I can hear my baby upstairs. So we're gonna wrap this shindig up. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I think you now know why this is so important we collaborate and work together. As much as Isagenix has blessed our lives financially, the culture that Isagenix represents is everything. Our core values of passion, integrity, family, health, it's all true. And I knew it from my very first event at NYKO in Dallas, Texas. As they talked about the core values, I felt it with every particle of my being. I felt that this company had the core values that I stood for, and that it aligned so beautifully with what I wanted in life. So thank you guys again for joining us. We hope that you will continue joining us, and please invite your friends and family. Look at how many of us that it took several invites to join something like this. So keep sharing with them, keep pouring belief into them. We just have to be open, and one day they will be open and their hearts will open, and we can start really sharing the gift that we have, because as we've all shared tonight, it is truly, truly a gift. So thank you guys. Have a beautiful night. The recordings will be posted in 24 hours. If you go to my YouTube at Trisha Wilkins, it's all under One Team University. This will be One Team University Awake to Your Brilliance. So just check that out on YouTube and share away. Good night, guys.